The Duchess of Cambridge, Kate Middleton, has a big title, an important role, a monumental future, and a surprisingly normal life. She spends the day walking the dog, caring for her 3 kids, and even running to the grocery store to pick up things for dinner. And you might be surprised to learn that this is the schedule of a future queen consort, and not, in fact, the soccer mom that lives in your parents' neighborhood. As a former commoner, Kate Middleton hasn't strayed too far from her upbringing, spending her early royal years focusing on building her family, digging into her charity work, and making the next generation fall in love with a princess story. After all, our lives don't look all that different from hers. So what exactly does it look like to live a day in the life of a duchess, you may wonder? Let's look at the things that fill this royal calendar. With access to palace staff, including people who can cook, clean, shop, and even parent your kids, you might be imagining Duchess Kate spending all her time in ball gowns with foreign dignitaries. But much of her time, the majority even, is filled with doing things like running very normal, mom-type errands. You might have seen the press coverage of her and Prince William dropping their kiddos off at school, but it turns out this wasn't just a show for the press. Kate handles the drop-off more often than you'd think, taking her 2 oldest kids to their school, Thomas's Battersea, often in casual clothing and a ponytail. According to another parent from their school, Kate doesn't draw as much attention as some others. They jokingly told Daily Mail, "We have a Victoria's Secret model doing the school run too, and the dads are far more interested in her." It's kind of hard to picture the next queen consort not being the focus of any room she walks into. After the kids are off at school, Kate walks the family dog up to 3 times a day. Following the passing of their family dog, Lupo, they adopted a new dog in quarantine, a black Cocker Spaniel from Kate's brother James. This new pup has been a welcome addition to the crew and is well cared for by the Duchess and her family. Walking the dog is one of the ways that the Duchess prioritizes her physical health as well, but she doesn't just take strolls with their pup. Along with her sister and mom, the Middleton women all love to stay fit with yoga, Pilates, and lots of time spent outdoors. Kate has also been spotted heading to the grocery store to pick up items for family dinner. With a chef and staff to go to the store for you, this might be the chore the rest of us would lose first. But Kate seems to enjoy the normalcy that comes with shopping amongst regular UK citizens, and then coming home to prepare a meal for her family. Their home menu includes lots of Italian food, including pasta and pizza from scratch. Kate has also shared a love of baking, and apparently stays up baking their children's cakes for every birthday. Compliments to the chef. It's admirable to have so much access to the support that would take all of these errands off of your to-do list, but we think this is part of what makes Kate so popular. A royal really gets to stay one with the people when it's possible to bump into them at the corner store. One of the biggest parts of the Duchess's schedule is spending time in her most important role, as a mother. It's common for many of the royal family to prioritize their official duties over their parenthood, and seen by many as a personal sacrifice for the good of the Commonwealth. But Kate and William have opted for a parenting style that feels more in line for them. They have a somewhat pared-down staff that includes only 1 nanny, when in other cases it is common to have at least 2 main nannies. They chose to hire one somewhat reluctantly when Prince George was 8 months old, as a way to help them balance their time with a little more support. This extra support has likely been helpful inside of quarantine.
Just write down who has been the greatest support to you during the pandemic. That's lovely.
As Kate has even taken on homeschooling on top of navigating her everyday responsibilities.
It's been really difficult to do that for lots of families, not being able to rely on their usual support systems, and the schools obviously being locked down, they were a massive support as well to lots of families.
Personally, Kate is known by those close to her as a confident mom, and has even been seen handling the realest of mom moments, the tantrum, with lots of patience and love. Moving in between her life at home and her life in the public eye, Kate has shown us that she is fully capable of staying calm, cool, and collected in the midst of all of her duties, royal and parenthood alike. One thing that the Duchess of Cambridge does that we can all relate to: work. It's a commonly held belief that the royal family doesn't work hard or earn the money they have. And while a family focusing on diplomacy and charity work might be a hard sell for the kind of luxury they seem to live in, there's no doubt in our minds that they work very hard every day. For starters, the personal freedoms they give up to serve the Queen in this capacity is huge. Everything they do requires a security presence, lots of planning and coordination, and opening their family and activities up to the public eye, and the judgment of British citizens. Besides the sacrifice that it takes to hold these roles, there is lots of actual day-to-day work. The royal family as a whole has over 2,000 official engagements every year. They also respond to about 100,000 letters, host over 70,000 people at various events, and support over 3,000 charities in the United Kingdom, either as patrons or through sitting on the board of the organization. Kate specifically focuses her work on early childhood causes. According to the royal family's website, Kate's career is spent looking into how experiences in early childhood are often the root cause of today's hardest social challenges, such as addiction, family breakdown, poor mental health, and homelessness. She participates in the charitable work of organizations that fight against bullying, childhood cancer, and for the support of children who have lost family members or are struggling with hardship and mental health issues. This work is mainly funneled through the Royal Foundation, an organization run by Kate and her husband, William. We have watched her as she has interacted with the people in her community, asking questions and empathizing with the struggles that real people face. She seems to make a real effort to connect on a deeper level, making her charity work not just about the money she can put toward a cause, but the actual changes she has a hand in making. And while her entire week isn't spent being rushed from one event to another in a ball gown, Kate does, of course, don the occasional fancy frock when her work brings her to various charitable events or social and political events on behalf of the royal family. Each time we see her, she navigates the press as well as the attendees of the event, looking radiant and graceful, making all of our Cinderella dreams come true. Duchess Kate seems to be unbelievably normal, in more ways than one, but at the end of the day, we know she's anything but. So the fact that she's shown us all how good she is at holding on to normalcy while never losing sight of her official duties is pretty impressive. And if we're being honest, it's a huge part of why we love her. As the monarchy faces its future, we know that they're looking to Kate as a big part of that. And with the way she works hard to use her role to make the world a better place through her charity work, is diplomatic and an excellent host, and cares for her family in a way that seems to balance all of these roles at once, we know Kate will make the ultimate people's queen one day. And we're all ready to bow down. How normal would you keep things as a royal? Or would you go full princess? Let us know in the comments below. And make sure to like and subscribe to follow along for your favorite royal updates. Thanks for stopping by the taco, and long live the Queen!